work with this year. Does that make your job a little easier as a coach?
I wouldn't say it makes it easier, because we're always striving to be 1% better every single day. So the fun part for us is having some older guys in there. We're able to kind of speed up the process in terms of some of the fundamental work we're doing, and it helps us progress faster. But at the same point, we have enough young guys in there that we still got to be coaching to those guys as well, and really getting down to the fine details of the scheme with our fundamentals and our techniques. So it's a fun challenge with the diversity in the group, with the old guys and the young guys.
With every group, there's always new nuances. What have you noticed about this group on and off the field since spring camp started?
It's very similar to the groups we've had in the past. They're very tight knit. They hang out all the time, whether it's here in the facility or outside in their own houses. They love football. They love competing, and they love being at their best, and their best is needed. And they're really a fun group to be around.
So maybe talk about some of the new guys that we haven't really had a chance to see yet. Maybe like Prince. Tell us what you've seen from Prince.
Yeah, Prince has had a really solid couple days. He's been a pleasant surprise for us, and we're throwing a lot at him right now. Throwing a lot at him in terms of the installs, and he's handling it very well. And along with other guys, Zamondre and Chase Penry and those guys, they're really picking this thing up. And so just getting those guys involved as much as we can, and as many rests as we can in these 15 practices is going to be huge for those guys.
Penry, very curious to see him and what he can do. What do you like about him?
Yeah, there's no doubt. He's a very cerebral young man. He picks things up really fast, and so excited to see where he goes in terms of his football on the field. And so it's excited about his growth in the last couple months. It's kind of surprised he's only been here a couple months. He's got things figured out pretty quickly.
What about Austin Bull? What's his status? Is he full go?
He's not full go yet. He's still in that rehab process, and so he's working tirelessly to get back. And that was a nasty deal that he had to go through last fall, and so he's working tirelessly to get back.
You said tirelessly?
Tirelessly, yes.
Yeah, that or tires working.
Yeah, tirelessly.
So he's not suited up at all for him.
No.
He won't be suited up at all. Just doing rehab on the side, or is he doing other stuff with the team?
No, just rehab stuff.
What about Ben Ford? How's he doing?
Yeah, very same thing. With his ACL, and so he's trying to get him back to where he needs to be, and he's getting the mix a little bit. We're going to get him going on some different things, but his rehab's going well.
Any concern about those guys at fall camp, or like timetable should be okay?
Timetable should be okay. Yep, timetable should be okay, and so we're looking forward to getting the full group back to full strength.
Where do you want to see Eric McAllister take that next step this camp?
Yeah, I think the thing with him is just getting reps, right? More reps for him, the better. You can really see him playing more confidently because he's more comfortable out there playing. And so when he has the ability then to go cut it loose and play fast, he's a really dangerous outfit, And so him spend more time with his preparation off the field and the classroom is going to be a huge thing for him, and he's done a really nice job for the first 5 practices.
What about Electrolyse Cables? It seems like he was really finding a rhythm last season. Big opportunity this year.
Yeah, he's kind of picking up where he left off from last season. So he's playing at a high level right now, and excited for him to take over more into that leadership role. He's now transitioned from a young guy to an older guy, and so for him to be able to be that guy in that room can help lead some of the young guys has been huge for him because he's able to teach some of the scheme stuff, and now he's able to kind of lead some of the things in terms of how our standard is here at Boise State.
Steph Cobbs and Billy Bowens both back for an extra year. I mean, was it a priority of yours to get them back here, and how important was their voice going to be in the room this year?
Yeah, I think it's huge for us. Having those two guys who played a lot of football for us, great leaders off the field and on the field in terms of leadership. It's been big, so it was a priority for us to get those guys back, and it was a pretty easy sell for both those guys. They both wanted to be back here for another year, and they wanted to have another year on that blue turf and celebrating with the guys they've worked hard with for the last 5-6 years now.
And they mentioned Eric McAllister. I mean, what makes him such a natural deep threat?
I just think he has a really good knack for catching the ball down the field. He does a really good job tracking the ball, and he has a mentality when the ball's in the air, it's nobody's ball but his. And so he does a really good job of that, and obviously we rep it a whole bunch. And so for him to just kind of pick up where he left off last year too, being that deep threat for us is going to be a huge part of our offense.
Is he your number one deep threat? I mean, is that yeah?
I don't know if he's a number one. I think we got a group of guys who are going to be those deep stretch of field guys for us, and he's definitely in that mix.
Who's the fastest of your group?
I don't know. That's probably up for debate. I'm not going to say one or another. I'll probably get ridiculed by the rest of the guys. So I've got a couple guys probably in that ballpark though. Like that would be kind of up for the fastest guy in the group.
Prince is a long, athletic kid. I mean, physically, how ready is he to play?
Yeah, he's tall, long. Obviously, we got to keep him to develop the weight room, and he's bought in. He works his butt off, and so it will come with time. And he's going to learn that physicality, and he's going to develop himself in the weight room to be able to go play physical because he is a long, tall kid out there running around. So when he has that in terms of his tool belt, it's going to be a huge threat for us, and I think he's going to work tirelessly to get there.
Without having seen him, is he physically wise, and is he a lot like McAllister?
Yeah, very similar in terms of when Eric came in terms of their build. Prince might be a little bit taller, maybe a little bit skinnier than Eric was at that time, but in terms of kind of who they are the body in general, very similar body types, and you can see how Eric has progressed over time in terms of building his body in the weight room. And I think Prince is going to do the same thing.
Another big body guy is Merriweather. I mean, what have you seen out of him in terms of growth, and what does he need to do to get on the field?
Yeah, very similar thing. He's another big body guy he's done a really good job in the weight room, putting on some pounds and be able to play physical. I think for him is being consistent. Being consistent with his preparation, knowing he's supposed to go out there and execute at a high level and go play fast. No thinking involved. And so some of these young guys, like I said, when the insults are stacking up, that thought process keeps getting slower and slower and slower. And so you got to spend more time preparing on the outside of the means that we have so they can go play fast. And Zamondre and Prince and Eric are in that boat. How well can they prepare to go out there and play at a high level?
I think we've asked you this in the past, and it might be more appropriate in the fall, but is it important to have an alpha male, a number one wide receiver? I mean, you got 3 or 4 players who are pretty damn close to what they can do in terms of production, but is that okay, or would you rather have one guy that just really blows up?
Yeah, I think it's always having a good group of core guys is really dangerous, because who's the defense going to key on? You want to take one guy away, we got 3 other guys that can go hurt you in some form or fashion. If you have one guy and then kind of some other guys, it's like stop this one guy and then a pass game is really done. And so I like having that receiving by committee, and I think we've done a nice job of that even in the last couple of years of having multiple guys, whether it's receiver, running back, or tight end, where who are you going to focus on? If you take him away, we're going to go here. You take them away, we're going to go back there. And we've done a really nice job of fitting that into our personnel.
In terms of 4 or 5, whatever practices you've had, how have you seen the passing game with Taylor get better in those short period of time?
Yeah, there's been some good and there's been some bad. Just trying to figure out, exactly what really he does well in terms of Taylor and where our receivers are running well. And so it's been fun for us to be able to do some things in the spring camp where, it's not life or death. We got some time to figure it out, and Taylor's really grown in from the last fall into this offseason, feeling comfortable with some of our pass game, and it's getting better day in and day out, as well as the receivers running better routes for him, so everybody's on the same page.
With Bush coming in as OC, how much of an adjustment is that for the wide receivers, and how have they kind of been responding so far in practice?
Yeah, I think for the most part, I think we responded really well. It's been awesome having Coach Hamlin back. Obviously, he's a tremendous Bronco in the past, coming back and giving it forward to the future Broncos. And so for those guys that have that type of vibe, when he walks in the room, they want to do a little extra more for him too. And so their preparation level went up, and they've done a really nice job of studying in their own time. So when they come out here for a practice day, they can go cut it loose and really go attack these guys in terms of the way we need them to go attack them. Cool.